Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, so today we're on episode 2 of the Relationship Goals podcast. It's the official Sunnah Match podcast, the number one place where we talk about relationship goals. Actually, to be honest, not just relationship goals, but just relationships in general.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about marriage, pre-marriage, post-marriage,
Divorce.
I mean, that's also on the table. All that stuff. So as usual, guys, you know, Sunnah Match is a service that we run to help brothers and sisters find people in order for them to get married.
On that note, yeah.
Go
on the Sunnah Match Instagram page recently, the Sunnah Match admin, someone tried to move to him.
Yeah. I
Some
saw
sister tried
that.
to move
I
to him
saw
on
that.
Sunnah
Should we
show a picture of it?
shall I read the
Read it out.
messages
Read
that
out.
were sent in the group chat? Hold on one
This is
second.
so funny. Right?
So essentially this is
We've
what
got to show this on
happened.
screen, yeah, man.
A sister said, "Who am I talking to, by the way? You're very helpful. Allahumma barik." A sister or a brother. And then the brother said, "I'm one of the brothers on the team. I'm responsible for customer satisfaction." The sister said,
Once I pause, you know
go on.
why that's funny? It's because this start catching feelings.
"Yeah." Immediately from that, I think she
Because
just
of the customer service.
Yeah,
Imagine it was a sister.
yeah,
I was like, you shouldn't catch feelings
Oh.
for admin accounts.
yeah. People unnamed, unrelated. So she goes, "Ooh, what's your name? I watch all Dawahman's videos. I know the whole team. I mean, Jazakallah khairan, thanks so much." And then the brother said, "We have many brothers that work on the projects behind the scenes who do not appear on camera." So she goes, "Oh, so I might not know who you are. Okay, no problem. If you're not married, then take part in Sunnah Match and I'll request you."
Oh, that was cute.
That was
though.
very sweet, isn't it?
That was cute, though.
Like he got moved to. There's no doubt whatsoever. But I did think it was. And to be honest, it wasn't like she didn't move to him on like some fangirl thing where she was like, "Oh my God, you're one of the Sunnah Match guys." It was none of that stuff. Like she was mostly quite respectful.
And
I think it was fine.
What was funny was when the brother messaged in the WhatsApp group. He's like, "Brother, did I just get moved?"
yeah.
He's like, "Brother,
Is that what just
what's
happened?
going on?"
Yeah. No, that was a good one.
Inshallah, I
That was
think
a
we
good
need to. I think we need to get that brother onto the Sunnah Match.
Yeah, inshallah.
And so that him and that sister. Imagine what an amazing love story that would be.
That would be a really good
I
one.
married the Sunnah Match admin.
Yeah, and he can then turn around and be like, "Yeah, so I was just helping, and she liked my vibe, and it just all worked
That's
out."
how sick Sunnah Match is. That you're getting married and you're not even like.
You didn't even try. It just sort of happened. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Alhamdulillah,
I'm back.
alhamdulillah.
So yeah, so like I said, this is the official Sunnah Match podcast.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, shall we just get into it?
Yeah, we can, inshallah, but just in case people are wondering how they can get onto Sunnah Match,
Mhm.
just click the link, inshallah ta'ala, below.
Yeah, everywhere that you'll be able to
if
hear
you're-
or see this,
Yeah, if
there'll
you're
be
on
a link
Instagram,
underneath.
the link will be in my bio,
Yeah,
or the Sunnah Match bio. If you're on YouTube, the link will be below, inshallah.
podcast app in there somewhere.
Yeah, podcast
Same situation.
app, it will be in there somewhere. So just register ASAP,
Mm-hmm.
so you can find the right one in the
The
right
right
way. What was
Yeah.
the other tagline you come up with the other day?
Okay, so
This
I
is
want to
so-
talk about this though. I want to talk about this
It
though.
was-
Basically, it was get married with the barakah and without the
The guilt.
Guilt. Yeah, exactly.
I don't get
With the
that.
barakah. So basically, what it means.
Do you think that's better than my one?
I mean, I don't think that one
The
or
right
the other.
one
I
and the
think
right way?
I don't think there's one or the other. I like this one because basically I feel like if people go for alternatives, so if you're actually trying to get married, and you're not just trying to date and stuff. If you're trying to get married, there's only a couple of different services that you can use, and I've heard many experiences from brothers, and I can imagine myself in this scenario as well, whereby you're just chatting to a sister somewhat loosely on a platform like that, and there's pictures being exchanged and things like that, and there's just there's like a feeling of guilt, like I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, like I feel like
That's what I'm saying. Right way,
I feel
right?
like I'm cutting
so
corners.
find the right one.
Yeah, no.
in
Again, I'm not trying to
the right-
compete. I don't think there's one or the other. I just like that one because I just don't want guilt in it. And when you do
Guys,
things,
let us know. Get us which tagline.
tell us
you
which
like
one's better. You know what? He wants to make a competition. Tell us which one's
Find the
better.
right one the right way, or
Get married with the barakah without the guilt. Look at this propaganda. This is actual propaganda. Wow, subhanAllah. No, you know what?
the
Fine.
boring tagline.
Wow,
isn't it?
wow.
I'm sorry. Go on. Anyway, let's start.
Let me chat to the admin and see what happens. So yeah,
I'm busy getting moved to.
so what I was saying is so the last episode, shall we don't necessarily have to connect them, but
Yeah.
okay. I do have some thoughts on what we spoke about last episode though. There's just a disclaimer
So what do we talk about last episode?
Last episode we spoke about how much money you need to get married,
Okay.
right? So I just want to quickly disclaim that that episode was in the context of somebody in London But depending on where you are in the world, all the numbers will completely change,
Yeah,
don't it?
of
So
course.
even if you're outside of London,
even
further up
even
the UK,
outside, yeah,
even
yeah.
like if you go to like Manchester or Birmingham or even like Glasgow,
But
wherever you
but
are,
you get paid a lot less though.
Yeah.
So it usually kind of be the
it
same.
kind of balances
ratios.
out. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. But you will definitely find different numbers. In it. So
100.
that's that.
100.
So this one was because when we were speaking, you mentioned that there's essentially two main requirements that a man has to come with when he wants to get married. Yeah. And the first one was financial responsibility. We just spoke about that. And the second is like physical responsibility. In other words, sexual responsibility. So what do you mean by that?
Repeat that one more time, sorry.
So what do you mean when you say that a man has to be prepared physically, sexually when he wants to get married?
Well, the Prophet
And what tie does that have? Yeah, to the religion.
Good.
Yeah.
So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was speaking to the youngsters, he said, "Ya ma'ashara shabab, man istata'a minkum al-ba'a falyatazawwaj." Okay. Anyone from amongst you who has the ability to get married, then let him get married. Now, the scholars, they differed with regards to what it's referring to here when it's ability. Many of the ulama, they said here it refers to physical ability, in other words, al-jima', sexual ability, the ability to engage in sexual intercourse. Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he also said it comes down to sexual ability, because if you are sexually active, you now have desire for the opposite gender. Do you understand? And Imam ibn Hajar rahimahullah ta'ala, he also has a qawl. So it makes sense, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get married.
Getting married, and you don't have the ability to engage sexually with the opposite gender. And the reason I'm saying this is because when a person has the capacity to engage sexually, especially in this hypersexualized society in which we live in, depriving them of marriage when they've been ready for time, is very dangerous, because they're gonna fall into other vices.
Yeah, there's gonna be other avenues that they're gonna walk down.
Masturbation.
Yeah, of course.
Fornication.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, because I was actually speaking, I had an appointment with a counseling session.
Okay.
With a sister, and she was mentioning that she's looking to get married, but she has a heightened sense of desire.
Okay.
For men.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she is a modest, completely practicing sister, completely in control. But naturally speaking, there is sexual desire.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that in particular. Like having high levels of drive and desire. There's nothing wrong with it. You can do that.
So it's libido, sex drive is something very natural. But she had a heightened sex drive.
Yeah.
So she's mentioning that she wants to get married to protect herself from falling into sin. And she was like, I feel like this is the wrong reason to get married. I'm like,
no, this is one of the reasons that you
she actually said,
married.
I think it's the wrong reason. I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. I said, sister, you being ready.
Yeah.
Like, of course you're ready. This is one of the goals of the of marriage, is so that you can
protect yourself from other avenues.
And also engage in intimacy and enjoy the intimacy with your spouse.
Yeah.
So some people try to make it sound like it's bad that a person's getting married for the intimate element. No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
In fact, it's one of the things that Allah Azza wa Jal placed between a husband and wife, so that they can enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And they can complete each other through that kind of intimate relationship. So there's nothing wrong with it. So in fact, it's something like we have a very backward mentality, wallahi, when it comes to these things. Do you understand? We're okay with a man and a woman fornicating, sleeping together for pure,
carnal reasons.
Carnal reasons.
Yeah.
But they want to get married for that reason. You try to make it sound like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah. Okay.
You should be getting married for greater things, bigger things, better things. And it's like, bro,
you've really misunderstood the dynamic between a man and a woman.
Do you understand?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, it doesn't just come down to the carnal desire. No, there's a lot more to it. And a man who gets married has to have more than just the ability to, forgive me for saying this, but to be able to, become aroused and want the other woman. Do you understand? He has to be able to have more than that. But I think what we want to discuss in this podcast is that is an essential element of marriage, and a person needs to prepare for it.
100%.
Do you understand?
Okay, so
men and women.
So that's actually a really interesting word you used there, prepared, right?
Yeah.
So how does someone who has no experience, like this is assuming that you've done everything in your life correctly, so you don't free mix, you don't engage with the opposite gender, all of the people that you do have in your life that are, let's say if you're a woman, they're male, or if you're a man, they're female, they're all family members, or people who are your maharim, so you can't actually engage with them in any intimate kind of way. You have no experience whatsoever with the opposite gender. How do you prepare for something like that?
Good. So sometimes you prepare by doing,
Okay.
and sometimes you prepare by not doing.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Oh, do you mean? Okay, go on, please.
So,
Because the only preparation I know is the sparring kind, which is you got a big fight coming up, you have to spar with people. You got a big exam coming up, you have to do past paper questions.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what preparation means.
and also in preparation, when you've got a big fight coming up, you
Yeah.
don't eat junk food.
Yeah.
And you know, like NBA players, they, if I'm not mistaken, you know, they're not allowed to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And like in preparation, there's also things that you do, and there's things that you
Don't do.
Do
Yeah.
you understand? So there are
Okay,
things,
that's cool. I understand that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, when you're a student, you have to make sure you're sleeping on time, eating on
Exactly.
time, your
you
brain's
don't stay the whole
functioning.
night. You
Okay,
don't- So,
maybe that's what you mean.
good. So
Okay.
so there are things that you must do to prepare for marriage, and the things that you must not do. Which ones do you want to talk about first? The do's or the don'ts?
Let's start with the don'ts. Actually, no, let's start with the do's.
Start
Go
with the do's.
Yeah.
Okay, from the things that you must do
Go on.
in preparation to prepare for intimacy is learn the Islamic rulings pertaining to intercourse.
Okay.
Okay, and there's a lot. Imam Suyuti rahimahullah ta'ala, he has a kitab called Al-Ashbah wal-Nadha'ir.
Okay.
In this kitab, it's a book on Qawaid al-Fiqhiyya based on the Shafi'i madhab. Shout out to the Shafi'iyya. He has a section. They will never know. You were there that day, huh?
Yeah, no. He was right next to me.
Do you want to tell them what
No,
the
it's okay.
Okay, let's leave it.
Yeah, another time.
Of course, you know. Yeah, anyway, the point I'm making is that he has a kitab.
Yes.
Okay, and this kitab is amazing because he takes issues and he summarizes them into principles, or rather, he brings the principles for certain issues, and like big topics, he summarizes them in principles. So there's a part of the kitab where he just brings generic principles, and another part where he takes major topics that are like big important topics, and he brings the principles for it. He has a section just on penetration. Just on penetration. Principles that have rulings
Yes.
based on penetration. Taghyib al-hashafa, which is when a man's organ enters inside of the woman. Okay, and what they consider taghyib al-hashafa is when the head of the man's male member is no longer visible.
Okay. Is that
So it's not
is that madhab oriented? Is that pretty much unanimous?
I don't know about the other madhab.
Okay.
As in, I studied Shafi'i madhab,
Okay,
so
fine.
I can't speak for or against any
That's
other
fine.
madhab.
That's fine. That's
Yeah, I can't speak for it. But generally, they mention that it's not just the mere touching
Okay.
of the private parts.
Yeah.
It's penetration. Okay, what is penetration?
The actual entering.
It is the entering
Yeah.
such that the head of the man's male member is no longer seen. Imam Suyuti rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned something very profound at the beginning
Go on.
of that section. He mentions there are 150 Islamic rulings that are connected to penetration.
Okay. That's
Really
interesting.
In other words,
Let's hear 'em.
if you wanted to know what the Islamic consequences of you putting your organ inside of a woman's organ can
Incorrectly.
be,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
there are 150.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There are 150 Islamic consequences,
Yes.
150 Islamic rulings that can come as a result of penetration.
Alone.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, a huge amount of them are connected to marriage.
Yeah. And there's a proportion that's connected to
Outside
Okay,
marriage
like
and
fornication,
you know,
adultery, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fornication, adultery, and rape and things
Yeah.
like that. But the point is that you need to now know what are the ahkam.
the ones that are going to apply to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example. If a man penetrates a woman, there are certain things become haram for him.
Yes. Okay.
What's haram for him? He needs
don't
to
know.
know. Certain things are, I'm not going to go into it now,
Yeah.
but there are certain things that become haram on the woman.
Okay.
Certain things that become wajib on him.
Yeah.
Certain things that become wajib on the woman.
Yeah.
What are they?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, that's important. You do need to know
Well,
that. Yeah.
So there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. So 150 ahkam.
Yeah.
If you
Do
ever
you
want-
mean
if you ever wanted to know
Yeah.
what your private parts can do
Yeah.
or what Islamic consequences they have, 150.
Yeah.
So study these things.
Okay. So
Understand?
essentially, what we're saying is, this is the theory part of the practical.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you have to learn the highway code. You have to know what the signs mean.
Yeah.
You have to learn speed miles.
Practical is only in once you're married. There's
Yeah.
no practical.
There's no practical. There's no like driving lessons.
There's no
none of
driving
that stuff.
lessons to
Good.
this. it's only theory.
Yeah.
And then your test is the first night.
Wow.
So you better not flop, my brother.
Wow.
So the point I'm making is that you have to. Now, also when it comes to the Islamic ruling and knowledge side of things, you need to know the sunan of intimacy.
Yes.
Do you understand? You need to know the boundaries, the do's and the don'ts. People Like how are you married, but you're asking, can I do this with my wife?
Yeah.
Bro, just find out.
Just
first.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah, do you understand? Okay, I understand some things you might not.
Are really specific.
They might
yeah,
not
of
come
course.
to you until after. But I'm saying, generally speaking, like, you know all these things prior. Just look into it, research it, study it. And by the way, it shouldn't be.
There's loads of books as well, man.
It shouldn't be one where, by the way, I really get annoyed when people take shortcuts. It shouldn't be one where a person just goes to a book and he just finds the chapters that he needs.
Okay.
He needs to holistically study fiqh.
Okay.
Because when you look at, for example, the ahkam pertaining to intimacy, you'll be shocked and know that intimacy is in tahara.
Yeah.
They discuss,
as in it's connected to so many different other.
They discuss intimacy in siyam, in fasting. So tahara, in the kitab tahara, they discuss intimacy. In the book of fasting, they discuss intimacy. In the book of hajj, they discuss intimacy. In the book of nikah, they discuss intimacy. In the book of talaq, they discuss intimacy. So you're not going to just find one book that has it all. Do you understand? And you can't say, I want to study kitab and nikah. Because you'll only, which is the book of marriage, you'll only get a certain part.
As in you're removing the other context.
Yeah, in Kitab al-Jinayat, the book of criminal punishments, intimacy is discussed. And it's discussed in detail.
Yes.
Like even at a basic level, you'll see that intimacy is being talked about in Tahara. Okay, what are the rulings to intimacy here in Tahara? There's a lot, do you understand? So you need to study fiqh.
Yes.
You must study Islamic jurisprudence. You must study this, do you understand? Knowledge college. I mean,
beautiful.
I
mean, in this, it's gonna help the brothers and sisters. So yeah, you were saying, there's you have to study fiqh holistically in order to understand this properly.
Yeah, and there's sunan, there's sunan, and also, for example, a person, I think it would be healthy, very healthy in this day and age, to speak to people who have walked the plank before you, who've got experience. And just get them to fill you in on some pointers with regards to intimacy. Like, for example...
Do you think that's a bit inappropriate? Like,
no, like, for example...
If I go up to, like, my dad.
No, but there'll be...
Dad, do you want to give me the...
brother, someone in the community, someone you can go
convo
to seek advice. Like, for example, I'm talking things like, for example, like, how to approach the woman on the first night. Like, you know, look, if you just leave a young brother roasting to his devices... he's gonna try to let loose on the first night.
That's a good point.
Do you understand?
I like that.
But he needs someone.
Maybe some guidance.
He needs some guidance. You know what I'm saying, dude? There's sisters need guidance from older sisters. Like you someone.
What to expect? What not to expect?
Yeah, someone who's not going to be crude, who's not going to be disrespectful, who's not going to be vulgar, and they're going to basically help you, you know, through the process. Do you understand? I think that's very, very vital. Kind of what we're trying to do.
I actually agree with you.
Exactly what we're doing here.
That's a juicy one. I mean, yeah.
So that's not from the angle of. Exclusivity. I'm not saying it's exclusive to only these things, but just you know.
What you're trying to say is that this is a big iceberg, and you should try and tackle it as fast as much as you can. Yeah. No problem. I love that. That's actually very, very helpful. I think we stopped at the point where you were going to mention the knowledge college courses that are related to this. Yeah, link below. Love it. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's that. That's some of the do's. Do you want to mention some of the don'ts?
So, wow, there's so many.
This
don'ts.
is the main one.
Okay, there's three main things I'd like to talk about here.
Go on.
So, okay, so let me mention them so that you remember to bring me back to them. Yeah.
Go on.
So there's pornography.
Mm-hmm.
There's premarital relationships.
Okay.
Whether they be completely sexual or, like when I say sexual, I mean as in you're sleeping with the spouse, or you're not sleeping but you're doing other things. So basically, pornography, premarital relationships, and pleasuring yourself through masturbation or some or other, like, you know, sexual instrument.
Okay.
Like, you know how the women, they have
all sorts of stuff.
What's the appropriate way of saying it?
I don't know.
The things that they insert inside of themselves.
I don't know what the right word is for that. I'm trying to fix that in my head, but yeah, okay.
So anyway, the point I'm making is that these are three things that you should definitely stay away from, because they will stop. They will mash your they will mash your intimate life up.
Okay.
You will not be able to enjoy intimacy with your spouse, and you will probably feel unfulfilled, or they will feel unfulfilled, or both will feel unfulfilled. And when a couple feels unfulfilled in the bedroom, it creates so much anxiety, tension, frustration inside the house.
That's a really good point that I want
They
you to
start
touch on.
fighting, not getting on, and that can lead to infidelity, cheating,
Yeah.
or problems that lead to divorce. In my experience, marriage counseling,
That's
I've
what I was
been
going to
doing
mention.
it
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
I can tell you one of the most fundamental, foundational reasons for problems inside of a marriage is problems that are connected to the bedroom. And not all, but a lot of the time, problems in the bedroom are there because the guy was watching porn, the guy was bashing, or the guy was what? He had other women prior, or the woman was doing the same things.
Yeah.
People are going to ask what's the connection. But we can go into that.
So the first one you mentioned is pornography.
Yeah.
So I'm quite familiar with this whole field just because of conversations that we've had and also just
And you've been wanting
researching
to make an app called Stop. What's it called?
I can't remember what was the name. It didn't have a name yet. It didn't have a name yet.
No.
No. Okay. I don't know. But the point
It was an app on bashing. So he's done research on this topic.
I've got bare research on this just because I knew it was based on a few things. One, it was based on how many views that video you made about masturbation got, and the second thing was based on how many emails that we used to get about, oh yeah, I'm addicted to masturbation, I don't know how to stop, blah blah, etc. And then I went and I was like, how can this be like such a, because it's a self-created vice. It's actually a problem that you make for yourself. Do you get it? It's a bit like,
and you see what the mad thing is, that people don't realize it's a problem.
Yeah, no,
they
of course,
don't even realize
they don't see the dangerous path that they're treading in it. So it's a bit like smoking, for example. Nobody brings this to you. Like nobody forces you to become a chain smoker. You eventually become so nicotine resistant. You can't stop any. Now you just have to keep smoking. It's a bit similar to that. This is a problem that you create for yourself, which is why I was so interested. I was like, I want to know how this happens. And then eventually I found out there's various different resources on the internet to look into exactly how dangerous something like that can be. But essentially it's connected to...
And this putting aside the danger that you have to face with Allah's Azza on the Day of Judgment.
Yeah.
We're talking about... We're not even talking about...
No, that's like on different levels.
We're not even talking about the azab that comes, the punishment that comes from doing these major sins.
Yeah.
For example, pornography, consistent masturbation, premarital relationships. We're just talking about it from the angle of how it's going to mash your
life up,
your marital life, your intimate life.
Yeah, like your mind. What this is going to do to your brain.
Not just your mind, physically it's going to mash you up.
No, I mean there's that as well. We're going to touch on that.
You're going to become a 1 minute man.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
That's part. So what I was looking into is that essentially pornography, masturbation, they become a different type of drug. There's actually a really good resource online. It's called Fight the New Drug. It's called Fight the New Drug.
Wow.
Sick, a really profound way of explaining what it is, isn't it? Because it's not actually...
I came across a documentary I was watching once, and they said that when a person watches pornography, it has 10 times the effect on the mind, chemically speaking, than when a person takes cocaine. Yeah,
that would make sense. I'm not like an expert in the whole cocaine thing myself, but that's consistent with everything that I've seen.
You never sold cocaine?
With regards to that. No, alhamdulillah, no. I've never sold cocaine.
I'm joking.
Never sold any amount of coke in my whole life. Hatta, I don't even think when I was selling drinks in school that I ever sold the coke. I don't think I ever did that either. I mean. So, what happens to people is essentially they start, and it all starts off small, and I think this is consistent with what we know in Islam. With, for example, with shaitan, what he does to you is slowly. It's like a deliberate, small increment every single time. You know, you just start, and then it's like you're clicking on this video and watching this picture, and looking at this picture and doing this. You're doing all sorts of stuff, and then it leads you down a pathway where now not only can you not see the place that you started from, but you can't see an end either. You can't see a place that you can get out from either. But what I want to know is how many, and this is a question I was going to ask you earlier, is so in your time doing this marital counseling situation, did the guy, and this is actually a big problem in it, did the guy have the pornography problem, or the guy or girl, whoever it is, have the issue with watching pornography before or during the marriage? So did they enter the marriage with it, or was it like after the marriage was over, like as soon as the marriage started, something happened?
There's various situations, right?
Okay.
The mildest of, like, so there's guys who be watching porn before getting married.
Yeah.
And there's guys who would enter the marriage watching porn, and those guys will start watching porn in marriage.
Okay.
All of them are bad. The mildest of all of these situations would be, you'd think to yourself, a man who used to watch porn and then got
No.
married. I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah,
even
good,
he's
yeah.
still affected.
No. I actually don't think that's true. I think the guy who is probably, but it's all based on the timing, innit? It's
Yeah.
actually, it's not necessarily based on the conditions or the circumstances. I think those are definitely apply to some degree as well. But the timing, I think, is the biggest problem. Which is, if you found a guy and he's there like, yeah, like, my husband you find a wife and she's there like, my husband started watching pornography a few months ago, and ever since then we've just started fighting. That's like, that's what you hope for, innit? Because you can actually still help him. You can actually still save this guy. There's still a potential. He hasn't, it's sunk past the point where you can't even see him anymore. But most people typically start watching pornography when they're like 10, 11, 12.
But
I'm probably even earlier than that. And when the guy's 25 now and he's 15 years into this and now he's married, it's not good.
So I think one thing that's important to discuss is why is it so. We've mentioned that it's so bad and it mashes marriages up, but people they want us to draw the picture for them.
Okay.
Why? Like, how is pornography something that ruins relationships inside of a marriage? And I'll tell you how to. The best way I can illustrate it is this: is that you have to understand that pornography is acting.
Yes.
It is.
It's a different type of screenplay.
Yeah, screenplay.
Yeah.
It's acting.
Yeah.
So it's whenever you screenplay and you act things out, you over sensationalize it.
Of course.
Make it
The whole thing is not real. Literally the whole thing.
Because
as in, there's no element of course, the individuals in the thing are real human beings. That's the part that makes it real for you to try and associate reality with it. But everything that you're seeing on screen is not real. Yeah.
And now many people who used to be addicted to pornography and people who used to be part of the porn industry, they came out and they tried to mention these issues where they're trying to educate the communities to stay away from this evil after they left it. That this is something where you have to understand is not real. Do you understand? Now imagine how exciting would an action movie be without all of the
special
fake
effects,
stuff, without special effects,
also like over dramatization of events, things like that. Yeah.
So then you have to understand the way in action movie you see a guy jumping off buildings and you know that it's fake. And you're not going to go and try and jump off a building.
Yes.
The way that you know when a guy, he catches a bullet.
Yeah.
He gets shot.
Yeah.
And he carries on walking. And he gets shot again. He gets blown up and he carries on walking.
Okay. You know the carry on walking thing? I don't think people will understand that. I think people think that's realistic. That you get shot and then you can keep going and get shot again and keep going.
No,
I think as in, it depends how bad, it depends how over dramatized the situation is. But I feel like I'll use shamelessly, a good example is old movies, so like really old Asian, even them,
I think
where the guy,
same one.
maybe we're talking about I don't know, but
the one about the war between Pakistan and India.
Yeah, that was the one.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Where he gets shot and then he just keeps going, gets shot again, keeps going.
Man looked like warrior.
Some soldier, yeah,
like
real
warrior, bro. He got shot, blown up, tank shot him,
exactly.
and he's still walking.
I think that example. The reason why I like that example is because a lot of people they're not familiar with firearms, innit? So they
don't watch movies, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm talking about something that's all now 7-8 years old.
Not just that, but I think that like I said, because people are unfamiliar with firearms, they don't know the damage that a firearm can do to somebody. They don't know what a bullet can do to a human being. Even if it's a small bullet, it doesn't have to be a 50 caliber sniper rifle from COD. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a flipping tiny little. You know what? Hatta, if you get shot with a pellet, like a BB gun, that hurts a lot, man. It's actually very painful. And so I'm saying, even if it doesn't go through and through, like it doesn't penetrate your skin, it still has a painful effect. So I'm saying a tiny little bullet from a handgun, bro, somebody can die from that. Yeah. That's actually it's devastating. So the point I'm making is the reason why people don't know about that specifically, even if you ask them, directly, do you think a bullet's going to kill someone? They're going to say yes, of course, but their mind is not in tune with that. That's not exactly what they know of it. I think it's a similar situation with pornography. They know, if you ask them straight up, do you think that's real? The person's going to say, I mean, probably not. Like it's a movie, it's a screen. Of course, it's to some extent, but in the back of their mind, they're hoping that they can make that reality real. Do you get it?
I'll be honest with you.
I'm sure every guy who's been shot hoped that he could just walk it off.
I'll be honest with you, genuinely.
It's right, innit?
I'll be honest with you, genuinely. From speaking to the brothers, the youngers, I genuinely don't think that they realize it's fake.
They all think it's real.
Yeah, you're talking about guys, youngers who never done it before.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. They never done it before, and all they know of it is that which they see on screen.
Yeah.
So that's the only reality they know. Do you understand?
It must be.
Like people don't people don't have them kind of staminas. People don't have them kind of, you know, like people like to experiment with different, you know, positions or whatever have you. Actually, they mention some of those positions are not humanly possible to be in. It's different camera shots, cuts, angles, and you're trying to replicate that. Now, here's the thing. When you get married and you realize your wife ain't that flexible, or she's
just a normal person who hasn't trained to do this job. Yeah. She's just a regular human being, bro.
Or a woman sees that her husband, like, he ejaculates after about 3-4 minutes, which is the average, I heard.
I don't know.
I heard it's something like the average.
That sounds really interesting. Look into that.
Check it. But, you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes, he ejaculates, and she thinks, what? She says to herself, wow, this was supposed to go on for like 25 minutes. What happened?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they are, you know, not acting a certain way, and it's not as passionate or as, you know, earthquaking as you imagined it might be. What's going to happen to you?
You're going to be disappointed. That's actually what the main, one of the big things about it is expectations.
Yeah.
You have a false sense of reality.
Exactly.
And then when you are faced with the reality, it's obviously going to be disappointing.
I really want this to sink into people's heads. You're going to be, if you watch pornography and you get married, thinking that your marital intercourse is going to be like what you saw in pornography, you're going to be as disappointed as a guy.
The median across 500 couples is 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
40 seconds.
Okay, good. So I really want this point to sink in to the brothers and sisters, which is that if you get married thinking that marital intercourse is going to be the way pornography is, you'll be as disappointed as a guy who jumped off of a 10-story building thinking that he would survive. Yeah. Because he saw it in an action movie.
Yeah.
You're going to be as disappointed because it's going to be.
I don't think the guy at the I don't think he's disappointed. I think he's surprised, and he's doing the "Why am I so stupid?" He's doing that in his head.
Honestly, do you understand? And that's gonna and when you have that level of disappointment, a couple of things are gonna happen. Number one, you're gonna cheat on your wife.
Okay.
Or you're gonna go back to start watching pornography.
Because I think the second one is more likely because the normal is the bar is so high, and you're there like, I just want that high again. I just want to chase that life, you know. And if you don't bring the bar down, you're always going to be looking at it from that perspective. So I think that's what they'll probably go after.
With a woman who you're attracted to physically in your room. Yeah. But you can't enjoy her. Yeah. You have to go watch a fake show. Do you understand? Or you're going to... and by the way, in that, there's going to be frustrations. You're going to tell her, why aren't you doing this? You're going to feel not pleased, or she's going to make him not feel pleased. He's going to get anxious. She's going to get anxious. They're going to lose their self-worth, their self-esteem. They're going to feel uncomfortable around you. They're going to they're going to be less motivated towards sexual intimacy, or they're going to try even more. And when they try even more and they realize they're still not meeting up to your standards, it's just going to be mental health issues come into play. Next thing you know, what happens?
I think there's a lot of image problems that come with that, problems. You're going to feel like you're an inadequate person.
And there's going to be an empty-less marriage. A loveless marriage, or you're going to get divorced. Guess what? Move on to the next girl. She's going to do the same thing.
Same thing, yeah, of
course. And by the way, he's going to do the same thing to her. Remember, this can happen to women and men.
Of course.
Do you understand? Yeah. It can happen to women and men. So my point is that pornography mashes up relationships, my brother.
100%.
It mashes up relationships.
I think there's a subtle... Yeah, 100% I agree with you. Okay, so now we've spoken about the like hardcore, you know, it's actually known as pornography. But I think there's other different types of mediums that can set your expectations higher than the reality.
Come to them.
Go on.
But just, I want to still sit on the issue of porn, because there's another way it can mesh up your relationship as well. And that's from a spiritual perspective. You see, Allah Azza wa Jalla, he told us, the Prophet ﷺ told us that whenever you do a sin, a black dot gets placed on your heart. And you do more sins, and eventually the whole heart becomes covered with darkness, and the person's not able to tell the difference between what's right and what's wrong anymore.
You know, so you're skimming over that, but that's such an important point. I feel like people don't understand the problem. The end of this is that your moral compass is completely skewed. Exactly. You don't run away from the wrong the way you used to in the beginning. And I think everyone can relate to that.
Wow, that's very powerful. You don't run away from wrong the way you used to. And pornography is one of the fastest catalysts to destroy your heart and to corrupt your moral compass and make you flip the other way. And wallahi, the pornography industry is one of the biggest proofs of that. Because, for example, you had some statistics. Yeah. There's been an increase in what kind of porn?
It's called incest porn.
Incest porn.
Yeah.
Incest is reprehensible.
Yes.
Towards.
I mean, I think every community, society in the world pretty much agrees with that.
Incest is reprehensible. It's disgusting. It's vile. It's vulgar. You know what I'm saying? But yet you're googling, you're searching.
Yep.
Incest porn.
Yep.
Incest is a man sleeping with his mum.
Yeah.
A father sleeping with his daughter.
Stuff like
A
that.
brother sleeping with his sister. A person sleeping. Do you understand?
Family stuff. Yeah.
That's mad. That's mad.
100%.
And that's growing. Why is it growing? Because the boundaries get what?
Yeah, I think human beings have I actually need to look into this. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly specifically whether or not I'm saying it's factually correct, but I feel like, and what I've come across is that human beings have a natural escalatory nature. Like whenever you get something, you always want the next thing that's
stage.
just past it, just over it, and then eventually you sort of get towards
Well,
where people are
and that's
today.
in line with the hadith in the sense where your heart becomes darker,
Yeah,
your heart becomes diseased and tainted. The more it becomes diseased and tainted,
Yeah.
the less you can understand good, and
Yes.
the more that you see evil to be good,
Yeah.
and you see good to be evil.
yes,
So you now want so the more evil and the more corrupted and the more filthy your heart's getting, the more filthy you want to do. So I mean, look, a few years ago, it was groundbreaking research that mentioned that there was a rise in rape porn as a genre within porn.
yeah.
At rape.
Yeah.
Like
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it
You
is.
understand?
Yeah.
I'm saying, and people enjoy that. Like it's illegal to do it, and then you wonder why people are doing it.
Yeah.
And you've made it legal for them to watch as a genre
Yes,
of porn.
yes.
And then it's what? It's incest.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And then it's what? It's gonna be what? With animals.
Yeah.
And it's and
No, but that's already a thing. That's actually already a thing. It's just not as popular as the other two.
One brother
that you
told me
mentioned.
that a new genre that come out was with regards to like disabled porn.
Oh wow.
Like people were in, like and then people start having these weird kind of fantasies and whatnot. And the thing is like, how does this? But the thing is, that makes you evil. But how does that translate into your relationship?
Yeah.
In your relationship, you don't just want normal intercourse. Like for
Yeah.
example, intercourse for a person. I remember I spoke to one brother one time. Wallah, miskeen, innocent brother.
Okay.
Wallahi, righteous brother. Allah Mubarak. And you know the brothers, they asked him, when you got married, like, and your first night, like, how did you?
Yeah.
Not to describe what he did or anything
Yeah.
like that, because you're not allowed to.
But like, how did you feel?
yeah, like as a person who never had intimacy before.
Yeah.
When you finally did, what happened?
Yeah.
The brother was like, he said, "Bro, it was so good. I thought it was haram." He said it was so good that I said to myself, "This is haram." Because
No.
Yeah,
This is
literally.
there's
So-
something going on
no,
here.
no, but pay attention. But I'm saying that's him just intimacy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like food. If you've had
That's a good
if
one.
you've had
I like
added-
that
yeah, if
because it's just as carnal. Like it's right at the bottom of your base desires. Which is I just need to eat.
you need to eat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if all day every day you're eating food with additives
Yeah.
and the sweeteners in here and
Yeah.
whatnot, when you go find the normal strawberry, it's not sweet anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good
Because
point.
you had so much fake stuff. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, yeah.
So you can't enjoy normal intimacy because you had so much fake stuff, or rather, you've seen so much fake stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how does it transpire? For example, you're telling your wife, like, I need you to bark like a dog. Like, bro, can man do these kind of things, bro? I need you.
That's
or a
mad.
man will
That
say,
one I didn't know about.
man will say, put a leash around me and take me like a dog. Yeah, akhi. Bad things out there, bro. Bad things. Not just that, he start getting to that sadomasochist stuff where, for
Yeah,
example,
like I have to beat her and cut
not
her
just
and
actually, some
stuff
women
like
into,
that.
some women into things. For example, they wear high heels and then they like step on their man's
Yeah.
genitals. Well, it's a mad things, but I'm telling you,
That's-
actually, this is becoming normalized.
I
in this
agree with you.
community.
I agree with you.
It's
It's
become
an
normalized.
escalatory nature.
Do you
Everybody just
understand?
wants to amp it up
Do you
every
understand?
time. Yeah.
So, and that only came because you kept pushing the barriers, you kept pushing the barriers, you kept pushing the barriers, you kept pushing the barriers. And by the way, a lot of people they fall into like you easily fall into things like homosexuality and whatnot.
Yeah.
Become easier for you to
No,
fall into.
100%.
Why? Because you're always watching a man's things.
That's a good
You're
point.
always watching
you
a
know.
man.
I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
like when you see a man's thing, you're supposed to like you're not supposed to look at it, but it become normal for you to see a naked man, and this naked man is what? He's clean shaven. You know what I'm saying? He's all like muscular. He's looking.
No,
like,
I'm just thinking about that point. That's the really good point, which is if you're a man and you're watching pornography, there's another guy's ting on the screen.
Exactly.
You're literally
and you're enjoying it and look.
No, but that's part of it. That's part of the enjoyment, which is that you're seeing this guy do
Yeah,
this stuff to this
to the
girl.
woman.
Yeah.
Exactly. And vice versa for a woman to look at another
Wow,
woman.
that's so
Do you
evil,
understand?
man.
For a woman to look at another woman. And not just
Yeah.
that, bro. Like next thing you know, bruv, like I said, a person gets into. They don't know, like a person when they started, they never thought they would get into rape porn or incest porn.
Of course.
Next thing you know, you're watching gay porn, or you're watching tranny porn, or you're watching some mad thing.
You know, the thing
Because
is, you're talking about them like they're all separate or they're levels. But to me and you, they seem like they're on levels. But on these platforms, they're all the same thing. They're all equally as accessible in it. So, like, as in these popular pornography websites, that's actually another point I was going to mention as well, which is that they're all easily accessible. It's all just like there. You can just click anything. Do you see what I'm saying? So,
like YouTube.
It's just like YouTube.
Like Facebook.
It's actually really interesting that you mentioned YouTube because YouTube is a very particular example. You have to understand that all of these platforms, their main interest, their vested interest is for you to spend as much time as possible on their platform.
Like any social media.
Yeah, it's for you to spend as much time as possible on their platform.
Yeah.
So part of the algorithms for some of these pornography websites, I'm assuming, is going to be of an escalatory nature. It's going to be to try and bring you in
like
as much as possible.
Like
every single thing. Yeah, exactly. It's for every possible thing that they can do to try and make sure that you spend more time on their platform. They're going to try and do those things, even if that means appealing to like the darkness, the dark tunnel that you've put yourself into, which is why they'll slap on stuff like incest porn.
A'udhu billah.
Do you get it? That's actually really interesting. I want somebody to do a study on that.
Huh?
I said I want someone to do a study on that. That sounds really interesting.
That's a mad thing.
Yeah.
Boy.
It's dark, man. It's dark. Especially because for a lot of these people, you know, the statistics are so overwhelming. They're so they you know lead on to this idea that the pornography viewing is so common. So it makes me wonder, like, how many people do I meet? This guy's got a porn addiction. Do you get it? And there's been times where I've even like wondered that exact thing. Like, this guy, he's just so weird. There's something so like perverted about him. Not like as in he's a pervert, but he's so weird. He's just so misaligned. Is he a secret pornography watcher?
Oh wow.
I'm sure you've met people like that. As in, like, behind the scenes, this guy's just an addict. No, as in, I'm scared. I'm wondering, like, what he's thinking, and it's really it's quite worrying, man. The point I'm making
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's weird, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, so hardcore pornography, definitely. Everyone will agree on that. Yeah, that's not even. I feel like for a lot of people who have listened thus far, probably think that I already know this, and I don't even watch porn anyway. That's possible. Well, like, there's other forms though that are less obvious.
I know you want to move on.
Go on. I really want to talk about this other stuff. Go on.
What else I think it's important to also mention, like, wallahi, when you watch pornography, like, Allah is watching you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Allah said in the Quran, "Alam tara anna Allah ya'lamu ma fi as-samawati wa ma fi al-ard."
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has knowledge of everything that which is inside the heavens and the earth. ما يكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا هو رابعهم. There is not a group of people who meet up in secret, and there's three of them, except that Allah is the fourth. ولا خمسة إلا هو سادسهم. And there's not people who meet up in secret in a group of five, except that Allah Azza wa Jal is the sixth. ولا أدنى من ذلك. And there's not a group of people that meet up and there's less than that. ولا أكثر. Or a group of people that meet up and there's more than that. And they meet up in secret. إلا هو معهم أينما كانوا. Except that Allah Azza wa Jal is with them wherever that they may be in terms of His knowledge. So you might have secluded yourself inside of your house, isolated in the middle of the night. Yeah. Doors are closed, locks are shut, doors are locked, windows are shut, lights are off, and you think you're alone. وَمَعَكُمْ He is with you.
Like in the middle of a desert, in the middle of the ocean.
He's with you. أينما كانوا, wherever you might be.
Yeah.
So you're going to make Allah Azza wa Jal see these things. Look at the other ayah. وَمَا تَكُونُوا فِي شَأْنٍ وما تتلو منه من قرآن ولا تعلمون من عمل إلا كنا عليكم شهودا إذ تفيضون فيه. There's not a single action that you do except that Allah Azza wa Jal said that He is a witness over you at the time you're doing that action. Like, can you imagine, Akhi, you're actually watching porn and Allah is witnessing this act of yours?
It's crazy, man.
How are you not shy?
Especially because the wrong that you do there is known. Like, when you first, like we mentioned before, when you first start this road, you know it's wrong. There's nobody who does it by accident. And so in that moment, you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me. And when you continue is when now that's probably one of the reasons why your moral compass just gets corrupted, because now Allah's watching me and it's like, so what?
And that's
Allah watched me the 1 million times before, and Allah's going to watch me this time as well.
But you know what, even then why that's bad is because even no matter how bad your moral compass gets, most people are not going to feel comfortable with their mum watching them.
Yeah, of course.
Why would you feel comfortable with Allah watching you? Have you made Allah lower than your mum? Have you made your mum superior to
No,
Allah?
I mean, even like,
that you would feel more shy of her to catch you.
bro,
You would
they'll feel more shy if their cat watches them.
Exactly. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like people will remove their pets out of the room before they do it. If they had a disabled person in the room who didn't understand, they would get them out of the room before.
Hatta, even if there's a blind guy, they'll be there like,
bro, you have to leave.
Yeah.
But the issue is that if Allah is watching, they don't care. And not just that, if you don't feel shy, then how is it that you're so comfortable that these eyes which Allah gave you, and He's watching you right now, whilst Allah is witnessing this action that you're doing, He's not absent, He's not heedless of it. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can take your eyes away. He can seal your heart. Right there, Allah Azza wa Jal can decide, or Allah Azza wa Jal, His decree can manifest. His decree can manifest because His decree is already decreed, but His decree can manifest, and that your heart being locked in the moment. This person not listening, lock his heart. Like, wallah, it's game over. If your heart, like, wallah, you know, it's shocking how people, they do these things. وما يعزب عن ربك من مثقال ذرة في الأرض ولا في السماء ولا أصغر من ذلك ولا أكبر إلا في كتاب مبين. That Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned, and it is not absent from Allah anything that is even an atom's weight within the earth and within the heavens. Even an atom's weight is not absent. Not more than an atom's weight, ولا أصغر. And even something less than an atom. People say, oh, this thing's smaller than an atom now. We've got quarks, we've got this, we've got that.
No.
Even less than an atom, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ, except that it is inside of a book, a record, it's been registered there. And the final hadith that I'd like to mention, hadith Sunnah ibn Majah, Shaykh al-Albani rahmahullah ta'ala authenticated it, where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said there will be a group of people from this nation, from this ummah, who will come with actions that are righteous, okay? Their actions will be the size of a mountain, and Allah will take their actions and He will make them nullified, dispersed into the air. Haba and manthura. They'll be like scattered dust particles. Their actions will be nullified. So they will come with big actions and they'll be nullified. The Sahaba said, describe them to us, O Messenger of Allah. Who are these people? The Prophet ﷺ said, they are your brothers. They're your people. They're your brothers in Islam. They are Muslims. And they have the same skin as you. And they have a portion in the Qiyamul Layl. They pray the night prayer. Okay? And they fast the way you fast. And they pray how you pray. But there's the difference. When they're alone, every sin that comes to their mind, at that moment they will do it. They don't care about Allah Azza wa Jal. The person left the greatest thing that Allah Azza wa Jal sent as a reminder, which is to say to a person, Allah is watching you. He didn't care, so his deeds became nullified. Do you understand? So, wallahi, to do this stuff is dangerous, man. Dangerous, bro. May Allah Azza wa Jal forgive us. Ameen.
And I think it's important for everyone to know that no matter how far down the rabbit hole you are, there's always an exit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it easy for you to, turn away from these things. And I think one thing that will help is conversations like this, and I think people should be more aware of how easy it is for you to fall down.
Like you have to understand something. You know, when you make tawbah, know that you would not have made that tawbah if Allah didn't will for you to make it, if He didn't aid you to make it. So ask Him. If you're struggling, say, Allah, help me to make the tawbah. Help me. Do you understand? And go through whatever means you can to cut it off. Like, Yusuf alayhi salam, when the woman approached him, she came to him, she was all up in his face. So what did he do? فَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابِ.
Yeah.
He ran to the door.
Yeah. No, but you need to include this point, which is that he knew that she locked it.
Yeah.
She locked it in front of him. He was there when she locked it. He knew the door's locked. I'm just going to run anyway.
Yeah, because he understood the concept is when fitna comes, I have to run.
Yeah.
Whether the door is locked or not, Allah will open it.
Yeah.
You run.
Yeah.
Your job is to run. Allah is to make
That's proof of that.
Allah's door is to open the exit for you. Do you understand? Allah is a lot. Well, as a people, as a nation, we've gone so bad. Allah, we ask Allah for forgiveness. I mean, there's so much vices that this ummah has fallen into. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Yeah. And it's dark. It's dark. So can I talk about I want to mention, which is that although this is the hardcore stuff, there are other things that also do the same thing to you in terms of your expectations. So for example, movies, just regular movies, guy-girl interaction on screen, it's mostly fake. I mean, these people, it's so fake to the point that the average viewer probably watched it thinking, yeah, they must really love each other, and then they hope for them to like meet up after. They're actors, bro. They're paid.
Bro, there is no such thing as PS I love you in real life.
Yeah, they don't. No, I mean not just that, but I'm saying even the actors that were acting, they don't even love each other. There's no real connection there whatsoever, and it's all on screen.
There's no Notebook.
Well, yeah, that's the one that I was looking for in my head. I was like, there's a movie. There's one famous one.
But we don't know. Yeah. I'm only mentioning references because I know people.
No, you're right.
If someone's watching porn, they're probably watching movies.
It's familiar.
So
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
But it's not. I don't watch movies. I don't encourage watching. I'm only mentioning it from the angle of if you're watching porn,
change your reality.
I'm assuming you're watching movies as well.
100%. So look. So we've done the hardcore porn, movies, TV shows. The last one is books.
So 1 second. Oh wow, you're moving ahead of me.
Go on.
Because you're bringing out good points, Alarm Belly. The movies one that has to be really drummed in. Yeah. Movies, wallahi, that's a big thing that mashes up relationships, you know, is that people watch these stupid Bollywood movies, these stupid Hollywood movies, and they will have a perception of that's what married life is going to be, this is my husband's going to be, that's what my wife's going to be. Bro, no, it's not like that. Do you understand? And
it's so, it's so important. I don't want to forget this point, so go on. Keep moving.
I'm saying, even for example, if you're in a haram relationship and you feel some portion, that's called puppy love. Okay? That's what,
what's that?
It's when at the beginning of a relationship, you have a heightened sense of
teenage fever, honeymoon period.
Yeah, the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period. Do you understand? Where, for example, your hormones are raging, and you're enjoying each other more on the intimate side, and you're only enjoying each other intimately. You're not dealing with the person's real self. You're only dealing with them. Like she only comes to see you when she's looking her best. You only go to her when you're looking your best. You're not dealing with financial issues together. You're not solving family problems. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not dealing with her bad habits. She's not dealing with your bad habits. It's just the nice side of things. You know what I'm saying? And even that will never be the way it is on TV. I'm saying that is not what real married life is about. Yeah. When he jumps into bed and he farts. Like, do you understand? Do you understand? He jumps into bed and
if that isn't the most real life way to just let people know this is the real world, that's probably one of the best ones, which is what you probably didn't even imagine is gonna happen.
Do you understand? Like, for example, a man will
don't laugh, bro.
Yeah, no, like I'm like she's gonna be on a menstrual cycle. Like I'm saying, there's the menstrual blood, there's the hormones that come with it. Like there's the problems, the dynamics, the personalities, the clashes, the this, the that, the dreams, the desires. They're all different. And bro, it's a complicated process. Do you understand? So you're gonna be mashed up. And by the way, back onto the issue of porn, if porn mashes you up, also another thing that mashes you up is just even if you're not watching these love flicks and romantic kind of comedies, rom-coms, whatever they call it, just by looking at women on the street. Forget pornography, just by looking at women on the street. Just by looking at what women on movies, vlogs, and Instagram. Bro, again, the way that the pornography is fake in terms of intercourse, that woman is fake in terms of how she looks. Yeah. That's makeup, contour. Like brothers need to know something. I don't think brothers know what contouring is. Let me introduce you onto something.
Bring me in.
Contouring is something where women, they put makeup in a particular, and they all do it nowadays, or most of them do it nowadays. It's a type of makeup that changes your bone structure appearance. Okay. It makes your facial structure look completely different, bruv. Okay. She don't look like that. Okay. It's an illusion. Okay. Do you understand? So all that you're looking at is women that have contoured their faces. Yeah. Do you understand? It's not plastic surgery. Yeah. It's do you know what? Am I explaining it well?
I'm aware, and you're explaining it well.
Am I explaining it well?
Yeah.
I'm saying she has done it to change her facial structure. Yeah. She looks more she's not that symmetrical. Yeah. She's not like that. Do you understand? Yeah. She's gone through so much concealer. Like her natural. And it's nothing wrong with it. Yep. But these women have been programmed to believe there's something wrong. But her natural skin, maybe her scars, her blemishes or whatever, it's not. It's all covered. It's concealed. There's her skin ain't even that tone, my brother. She ain't even that tone.
That actual color, the physical color that you can see isn't real. Wow, that's funny.
So there's so much they do to it, and then when you actually, one sec, she gets married and she has a shower. And a loofah, make sure you give her a loofah so she scrub it all off. You understand? Okay. And you're like, oh, slap!
Yeah, they're like, yo!
I know what brother that happened to.
Yeah, they're like doing all the doors that you can do in your head.
I know what brother happened to. When he got married,
No.
He's like, bro, this. He said, you didn't look like this when I met you at the marriage meeting. Wallahi. He said, you didn't look like this at the marriage meeting.
Heart was beating fast.
Yeah,
his
he was
palms
that.
started sweating.
He tried his best to make it work, but he just couldn't find himself attracted to her. He ended up divorcing her.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Okay, I was making a joke 1 second ago, but that's
Yeah. And that sister suffered, by the way.
yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
you broke her heart, you got mashed up, this,
Yeah.
that. It's pain.
No, but they're both of those people are at fault there, isn't it? There's no individual to point blame at. But the point I'm making is that's part and parcel of having heightened expectations. He was expecting something that just isn't real. It's not real life.
And that exactly, and that happens when you dive, and that's the beauty of the Sharia. Wallahi, lower your gaze.
It prevents you from that stuff.
Don't-
Innit?
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, beautiful.
Even like having sexual relationships outside marriage, like a man or a woman will struggle to be committed and satisfied with one spouse when they've moved around with so many.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And you're always gonna compare. Wallahi, if you're like, you're gonna compare her to the ones before. She's gonna compare him to the ones before.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is. It's just you're not innocent anymore. You've destroyed your innocence. Like I said, there's damage control. There's tawbah. There's ways to come back. My point here is don't make it worse.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it's seldom you'll find it's the case that people. It's his phone actually.
No, how long have we been going for? 1 hour. I think we should talk about
Should be
masturbation
fast.
as next
Yeah.
episode.
Okay, that's fine.
Because masturbation is a big one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that's even how masturbation matches that marriage,
Chemical
but
issue.
also how to kind of cope with waiting for marriage.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
So I think that's a topic on its own.
no problem. So what I was gonna say is the points that you mentioned about. Well, I was making a point just now before we were disturbed. Do you remember?
Sorry about disturbing you.
Okay. Huh? Yeah. This all of this stuff. If you start, there's very. So that's what I was trying to say. Seldom you'll find the case that people who leave this game leave it with the same level of intensity or like drive as they do as they enter. Do you get it? So you're always gonna find it to be harder to leave than to enter in the first place. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if you're leaving typically, bro, all the guys that we know that come off the ends, they have to leave the whole life behind. There's every single thing has to be cut off. They have to even leave the area. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Send brothers to Somalia.
That's what I'm saying.
To Egypt.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
100%.
We said, bro, you have to get out the ends.
Yeah. No, it's true. And so their whole life has to flip over in order for them to make real active, proper change.
I actually have a video. 5 steps to get over pornography.
Okay.
Link below, inshallah.
Good.
Aman, can you just remember all these links and put them in there? Because I always mention link below and I never put them.
Okay, so we got 2 so far then. Yeah, we got the Sunnah Match one, and we got the
And the Knowledge
College one,
For the
and this one.
And this one.
5 steps to go. Yeah, actually, this one.
Inshallah.
So quickly, I just want to wrap up here, but I want to mention a few other points as well, which is this is the one I don't want to forget. When you mentioning that movie romance is not real, there's another type of romance that isn't real either, which is vlogs and Instagram couples. Oh, that's not real either.
I think that should be
that one's episode. So fake. Wallahi, I can't even start, bro.
That's a separate episode.
There's that another one?
Do that justice. Write that down in your book. Do that justice.
Instagram couples.
Do that justice. Do that justice.
Instagram couples.
Do that justice, my brother. Do that justice.
Yeah. Instagram.
What do you think, Ames? Johnny Ames.
Yeah, because that's all fake as well. And similarly, like I was gonna mention the book one as well, which is like, for example, that famous book man is. Instagram that's it. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I think we should bleep the name.
We can bleep the name. But I'm saying there was a book that came out a few years ago. I didn't read it either. I just know about all of the hype that was associated with it and the problems that kind of thing creates. And it came out solidly. Like I first heard of it in 2014, so I think it came out a little bit before that as well.
It came out many years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
My question is, what's it really even about? I just heard this, some sadomasochistic stuff or something.
Okay, so I don't know the plot line of the story. I have no idea what happens. I just know that it's all not real, innit? And the reason why I want to touch on that is because I think people sometimes they read novels. To be honest, I don't think people really read much these days anyway. But the people that do probably look at it and think, okay, yeah, it is definitely fiction. It's written by an author. It's certainly fiction. There's nothing real about it. But what they think is that the themes and the elements in the story are real. Do you get it? So like the, whatever, interactions that the characters have in the story might have some real life element, but they don't. They have no real life element whatsoever. It's over dramatized. Reading books is already boring. I think the author who writes the book already knows I have to keep this reader engaged as much as possible. They're going to do as much as they can that fits within the plot line to keep you engaged as a reader. So yeah, I think those are the main ones, the main different types of content that this kind of
So
over
pornography,
sensationalized stuff can be brought in.
rom-coms,
Yeah,
Instagram couples,
yeah. Flipping
books,
even down to books, bro. Look how far they brought it, all the way down to novels. Okay, so yeah,
So
that's
Khaled,
porn.
before we end, Sunnah Match.
Sunnah Match. Sign up below.
If you want to stop watching porn or be protected from porn,
Yeah,
stop bashing, and be
Sure.
protected from falling into bashing.
yeah, this is the one.
And
Also, any topics that you guys think are relevant or related, or maybe any points that we might have missed or forgot to bring up, just put it in the comments below.
also
I think we
click
can have
the
some
ring,
juicy
the doorbell,
discourse.
the bell thing, so that you get notification instantly when the next part of the episode comes up.
All right, solid.
And follow Sunnah Match on Instagram because the videos will be uploaded on
Definitely.
Instagram.
All right.
بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
Thanks for watching to the end. We really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to sign up to Sunnah Match, if you're watching on Instagram, the link should be in the bio. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link should be in the description. And wherever else you're watching this, there should be a link somewhere. Just click around and you should find it. The right one in the right way. Thank you very much.